I hold my phone at arm length and hit record because I need proof that I am not imagining it. The map kiosk at the trailhead is simple. A green board, a sheet of laminated trail map under cloudy plastic, a little legend in the corner. I frame it up, say the date and time out loud, and zoom in until the trail names fill the screen. I look down at my own eyes reflected in the black glass for half a second to check focus. When I look back up, the map is not the same. My voice on the video stutters. I do not remember stuttering. I stop recording and play it back immediately. The first frame shows the map with one set of trail loops and a creek drawn like a hook. Then my eyes drop to my phone. When the camera rises again, the kiosk shows a different set of loops and the creek is straight. There is no cut. There is no glitch. Just a smooth, ordinary motion and a different map. I swallow hard and start another recording, turning my whole body into a tripod. I keep the kiosk centered and force myself not to blink. A car door slams in the lot behind me. The sound makes me flinch. The instant my attention snaps away, even though my eyes are still pointed at the kiosk, the map changes again. It is subtle. The words look like the same font, the same color, but the trail names are not the ones I just read. I turn in a slow circle, like I am searching for a prank camera. The trailhead is quiet. A few vehicles, a trash can with a lid, a wooden bench, tall pines that throw thin shade over packed dirt. The air has that early fall chill that smells like sap and damp leaves. No one is standing near the kiosk. I walk right up to it until my breath fogs the plastic. I press my fingers against the edge of the laminated sheet, expecting it to be loose, expecting someone to have swapped it. It is bolted down. I lean closer and read the title at the top, Pine Ridge Trail System. I whisper it. Then I turn my head to the left and look at the actual trail entrance, the wide path of dirt that disappears between trees. When I look back, the title reads something else. Cedar Wash Preserve. My stomach drops as if the ground tilts. I lift my phone again, but the screen shows the kiosk title as Cedar Wash Preserve even though I'm sure I just read Pine Ridge Trail System. I open my photos and scroll to the picture I took here last weekend. I took it because the map was useful and because I like saving trailheads in my phone. The photo shows the kiosk. The title at the top reads Pine Ridge Trail System. Relief flashes through me so fast it almost hurts. Whew, I'm not losing it. Then I notice the detail that is wrong. In my photo, there is a small sticker on the bottom right corner of the kiosk plastic, a white square with a black bear, silhouette, and the words Pack IT and Pack ITOUT. The kiosk in front of me has no sticker. I pinch the screen and zoom. The sticker in the old photo is crisp, like it was always there. I look up at the real kiosk. No sticker, no scrape where it might have been removed, just clean plastic. I close the photo and open it again. The sticker is gone from the photo too. I blink hard and scroll away, then back. The same image is there, same angle, same lighting, but now the bottom right corner is blank. My mouth goes dry. I close it and open it again. A new detail is different. The little icon for the restrooms, a tiny square with a figure, has shifted from the left side of the legend to the right. That is impossible. The file should not change. I feel a cold certainty settle into my bones. Something is editing what I know, and it is doing it while my eyes are open. I tell myself there is a rational explanation. A corrupted file, some weird phone bug, heat warp behind plastic, a trail system with multiple map overlays and I am confusing them. I say it out loud because if I keep it in my head it will rot. I start filming again. I narrate like a courtroom statement. I name a kiosk title. I describe the legend. I point to the trail names and read them. Whisper Loop, Ridge Spur, Creekside Connector. I keep my finger on the plastic while I read, like contact will anchor it. A woman walks up with a dog, a tan shepherd mix on a red leash. She stops a few feet away and looks at me, polite but wary. I force a smile that probably looks sick. She points at the kiosk. She asks if the trail to the overlook is open. I glance at her for the length of a breath. When I turn back, my finger is still touching the plastic, but the map under it is different. My fingertip now rests on a trail called Overlook Access that was not there a second ago. I feel my face drain. The woman follows my gaze and reads the map casually, as if nothing is wrong. She says the Overlook Access looks open. She says it is about a mile in. Her dog pants and leans toward the trail. I try to show her my phone, the video, the changing details, but my hands shake so badly that the screen is a blur. She gives me the kind of look people give someone arguing with an invisible person. She says maybe I should drink water. She walks away. I stand alone at the kiosk, hearing my own breathing loud in my ears. I do not want to go in, but the map now shows a loop that I do not remember ever existing, a neat circle with a name that makes my scalp prickle. Correction loop. I laugh once, a short sound with no humor. I look away and look back. The loop is still there. I pull up my old trailhead photo again. The loop is not in it. Then I close and open it. Correction loop appears in the photo as if it has always been part of the system. I put my phone in my pocket like it is suddenly untrustworthy. I should leave. I should get in my car and drive until the trees thin and the air feels normal. Instead, I step onto the dirt path because some part of me thinks if I can walk the loop and come back out, it will prove I'm still in control. It will prove the world is solid. The wood swallows sound the way thick carpet swallows footsteps. The first stretch is easy. A gentle incline. Pine needles soft under my shoes. Sunlight in pale shafts. The kind of trail that makes people talk too loudly because it feels safe. I pass pass a wooden post with a small marker. It reads correction loop, arrow pointing forward. I do not remember deciding to follow that loop, but my body does it anyway. A few minutes in, I stop and turn around. The trail behind me looks right. It looks like every trail I have ever walked, but the trailhead is not visible. Of course it is not. It is around a bend. Still, I feel as if the bend is not where it should be. I take my phone out and open my notes app. I type, I am on correction loop. I entered at the main trailhead. Kiosk changes when I look away. My photos change. I stare at the words until they stop swimming. I lock the phone. I unlock it. I open the notes. The note is there, but one sentence is different. I am on correction loop. I entered at the service gate. Kiosk stays consistent. My photos are fine. My throat tightens. I delete the note and start over, slower, pressing each letter like it matters. I am on correction loop. The kiosk changes when I look away. My photos change. I add more. I am writing this because something is altering what I remember. I lock the phone and hold it like a talisman. I do not check it again. The trail begins to narrow. Shrubs crowd in. The air cools and the smell shifts from sap to wet earth, like I have walked into a different season. Ahead, the path passes between two boulders that look like they were placed there on purpose. One has a deep groove running down it, like a scar. As I approach, I hear a sound that makes me stop. My own voice. It is faint, carried through trees, but it is mine. Calm, conversational, like I am explaining something to someone. I step off the trail and crouch behind a fern. The voice continues. I cannot make out the words at first. Then the wind shifts and I catch a phrase. It is me saying, I am on correction loop. The kiosk stays consistent. My skin crawls. I creep forward until I can see a small clearing through the trunks. There is a man standing there with his phone held up, filming a map kiosk. I kiosked. It is the same style as the one at the trailhead, but smaller, as if someone built a duplicate deeper in the woods. The laminated map is bright in the shade. The man filming looks like me, not vaguely, not in the way strangers sometimes share features. He has my jacket, my shoes, my posture, the way I tilt my head when I read. He says my words in my voice. I am on correction loop. The kiosk stays consistent. He glances down at his phone, then back up. The map does not change for him. He smiles, relieved. I press my hand to my mouth to keep from making a sound. The version of me in the clearing turns his head as if he heard something anyway. His eyes sweep the trees. His gaze passes right over me without focusing. He turns back to the kiosk and continues speaking. My photos are fine. He pockets his phone and steps onto the trail that leads away from the kiosk deeper into the woods. He walks with purpose, like he knows where he is going. I stay frozen until he disappears. Then I stand and step into the clearing. The kiosk here has a map titled Cedar Wash Preserve. The legend is familiar. The trails are not. There is no correction loop on this map. The trail I came in on is still behind me. I look back and see it clearly. A narrow line of dirt between ferns. I look at the map again. A loop appears, like ink surfacing under heat. Correction loop. I do not blink. I do not move my head. The loop remains. My heart pounds so hard I feel it in my teeth. I take my phone out and open my photos. I scroll to the trailhead picture again. The kiosk title reads Cedar Wash Preserve now. Correction loop is clearly drawn. The bottom right corner is blank. I close the photo and open it. A new change. The bench beside the kiosk in the photo is on the opposite side. I close and open. The car in the background is a different color. Each time I open the same photo, one detail shifts, small enough to be deniable, sharp enough to slice at my sense of time. I feel the place doing it. Not to the file, but to me, like it is adjusting the world to match whatever story it wants me to believe. I back away from the kiosk and return to the trail. I walk faster now. The woods feel closer, trunks like bars. The light seems to dim even though the sky above is still bright. I reach another post marker. It reads service gate, arrow pointing back the way I came. I stop so abruptly my foot skids. Service gate. That is what my altered note said. That is what the other me said. I turn around. The trail behind me looks the same, but now I cannot remember the parking lot clearly. I can picture the kiosk, but the vehicles are smeared in my mind like wet paint. I try to recall why I drove here. I drove my car. Of course I did. What color is it? The answer does not come. My mind offers options like a multiple choice test. Dark blue, red, white. I squeeze my eyes shut and force the memory. A steering wheel under my hands. The smell of coffee. A radio playing low. The rest is fog. I open my eyes and realize my hands are shaking again. I pull my keys from my pocket and stare at them like they belong to someone else. I look for a fob. There is none. I swear I have a fob. My stomach twists. I check my other pocket. No fob. I take my phone and open the notes app, even though I promised myself I would not. The note I deleted is back. I am on correction loop. I entered at the service gate. Kiosk stays consistent. My photos are fine. Below it, a new line has appeared. Do not resist edits. I feel a pressure in my head, not pain, but the sensation of a thought being pushed aside to make room for another. I whisper, no. The woods are silent in a way that feels listening. I start running. The trail curves and curves. I expect to see the trailhead any second, the parking lot, the open sky beyond the tree line. Instead, I see another kiosk. This one is identical to the first trailhead kiosk, right down to the bolts, standing beside the trail as if it grew there. I skid to a stop, panting. The map title reads Pine Ridge Trail System. Relief hits me so hard my knees weaken. Maybe I made a wrong turn. Maybe this is a secondary entrance. Maybe the parking lot is just past it. I step closer. A photo is pinned under the plastic, tucked into the corner like a found item someone displayed. It is my trailhead photo from last weekend. I recognize the angle. I recognize the cloudy sky. I recognize the way the light hits the kiosk. kiosk, but in this printed version, there is a person standing beside the kiosk. Only the me in the photo is turned toward the camera, eyes wide, mouth open mid-word, as if caught in the act of warning someone. I do not remember anyone taking that picture. I reach for it, fingers sliding under the plastic edge where it is not fully sealed. The photo feels warm, like it has been held recently. I pull it free and stare. The background shows the parking lot. The cars are there. The bench, the trash can. I focus on the car that should be mine. It is dark blue. I feel a tiny click in my mind, like a piece snapping into place. Yes, dark blue. That is right. I lower the photo for a moment, breathing hard, and then raise it again. The car in the photo is now gray. The click in my mind reverses. The certainty drains away. Gray feels right. Dark blue feels like a lie I made up. I stare until my eyes water. I flip the photo over. The back is blank except for one line of handwriting in black marker. Entered at service gate. My hands go numb. I look up from the photo to the kiosk map. The title now reads Cedar Wash Preserve. I did not see it change. I was looking right at it. I step back dizzy, and the woods tilt slightly, as if the trail is not flat anymore. I hold the photo in front of me like a shield and walk forward, because I cannot stand still. Because standing still feels like letting the place catch up. The trail ahead opens into a wider path, packed gravel now instead of dirt. A gate appears between trees. A service gate. It is metal, painted green, with a chain and a sign that reads authorized vehicles only. Beyond it, I can see asphalt. Road. My breath turns ragged with relief, so intense it burns. I hurry to the gate and grab the bars. They are cold and solid. I look back down at the photo in my hand. In the image, the gate is behind a kiosk and a figure stands at it, watching. The figure is me, but older, face lined, eyes hollowed by lack of sleep. I do not remember that being in the photo a second ago. I open my mouth to call out, to ask someone for help, to scream if I have to. No sound comes. I try again. My throat moves. My chest heightens, but the air leaves without voice. I press my fingers to my neck, feeling the vibration of nothing. I look at the sign on the gate again. The words are slightly different now. Authorized memories only. My vision tunnels. I lift my phone to dial, but the screen lights up to the camera app by itself, already recording, already framing my face. On the screen, my mouth is moving, calm and practiced. I hear my voice through the speaker, clear as day, saying words I do not choose. I am on correction loop. The kiosk stays consistent. My photos are fine. I stare at the live image of myself smiling while my real face strains in silent panic. Behind me, somewhere in the trees, I hear another set of footsteps that match mine exactly. I do not turn around. The phone screen adjusts focus, and in the reflection of my own eyes, I see a second figure step into frame behind me, close enough that his breath fogs the glass. The recording timer keeps counting up. My thumb hovers over stop. The figure behind me leans in, and the phone speaker plays my voice again, softer this time, as if whispering into my ear. Do not resist edits. I feel my thumb press down, but the screen does not change. The timer keeps counting. The gate rattles once, like someone on the other side is testing it. I finally turn my head a fraction, just enough to see the edge of the trail, the trees, the shadow beside me. The shadow is mine, and there's a second shadow overlapping it, moving into place. My phone, still recording, tilts slightly on its own to keep us both in frame. On the screen, the person behind me smiles with my mouth. In the woods around us, the kiosks creak as if their plastic is flexing. The map in my memory tries to redraw itself. I grip the service gate harder, and the metal feels less like an exit and more like the edge of a cage. My phone speaker clicks, and a new sentence begins to play in my voice. One I have never said before, one that makes my stomach turn because it sounds like a confession. I entered here willingly. The words keep coming, and I cannot tell if I am hearing them for the first time or remembering them. Behind me, the second set of footsteps stops. The breath at my ear deepens, and the changing photo in my hand warms again, as if another hand is closing over mine to help me hold it steady while the last detail shifts.